Peace to the world, Montar is here. Hello all. Welcome back to another stream of Zero Escape. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Wait a second, what? Hold on. Continue, not start. Oopsie. Yeah, resume.
Alright, who's next?
So, last time we had gotten to our first ending, the submarine ending, and, which involved everybody dying. And, then we started, up on this file where we had to go through where we went through door 5, and are now, about to choose between going through doors 7 or 8. Santa's gaze moved upon 3 people left. Finally, they stopped on Junpei. At last, Junpei's mind was already made up. We're not going through door 3, because that leads to only death. Let's go with lucky 7.
I think I'm gonna go with door 7.
Yay!
Okay, 7 it is. Yeah. Alright then. That means June's gotta go through 8.
What? Why?
Because this is the only way the numbers work. Santa grimaced and muttered angrily himself, but finally began to explain.
The 6 of us are gonna keep going without leaving anyone behind? There are only 3 ways we can do it.
Yep.
Have
Plan
3,
A.
5, and 8 go through 7. And 4, 6, and 7 go through 8.
Plan
4,
B.
5, and 7 go through 7. And 3, 6, and 8 go through 8.
Yep.
Or 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8. There are no other combinations.
Yeah.
In other words, 3 and 4, and 7 and 8 can never go through the same doors. You get it now?
As Santa finished, June looked over at Junpei, tears welling up at the corners of her eyes.
Oh, no. You're saying we aren't going to see each other again for a long time.
No. Junpei felt as June did. He wanted to be at her side, through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. Or we could go through door 3 again. Or for the sake of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, steeled his resolve, and did his best to smile.
Hey, come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again. We gotta split up, but only for a while.
No.
This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember?
Sure.
We got split up then too, but we all met back up. I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
She didn't sound very helpful. It was 7 that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9.
Yes.
In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn
aside
sure
from
that son of a
the,
bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible.
aside from the Reds not working,
He's
so
not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door.
June said nothing. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them, and with what reassurance he could manage, he laid his hand gently on her shoulder.
It's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise.
I'm not sure if that's a good promise to be making. June bit her lip and gave an almost imperceptible? I guess. Imperceptible nod.
Promise?
This was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice shattered the moment.
You guys are done, right?
Wow, dude. So rude. He stretched and continued.
That's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 8 and Clover can take 7.
That's how it has to
Any
work.
problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and was silent for a moment.
Whatever.
Oh. It was more of dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
Alright, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Clover, 7, and Junpei walk toward door 7. Santa, Lotus, and June headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. 7 took a deep breath.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
It's open.
Yay! Narrow hallway stretched out before them. 7 and Clover leapt through the door.
Let's do this!
Let's
Hurry!
go! Let's go! Run for your lives! The moment they did, the bracelets beeped. The detonators in the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his right, toward door 8. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei, and then all four of the characters died because Junpei and June refused to move from their spots. He turned and looked toward him. Their eyes met. They nodded.
June.
Jumpy.
Their farewells took almost 1.5 seconds.
What the hell are you doing, Junpei?
Then someone took a hold of Junpei's arm and hauled him bodily through the door. Heard the sound of a numbered door slams shut behind him. His bracelet gave a cold electronic beep.
Only 81 seconds left!
Junpei, you really should have, actually just, kept going
No
to
time
start
waste,
with.
guys. Let's get moving!
Let's go. 7 led the way down the hallway. Junpei and Clover followed him as fast as they could. After what seemed like far more than 81 seconds, they reached the end of the hallway.
Look! The door on the left! I can see the dead!
There was no time to rest or catch their breath. All three slammed their hands in quick succession over the scanner panel on the dead. Yay!
Okay.
Junpei catch his breath. 7 leaned heavily against the wall.
It stopped. It stopped.
Yay! His smile seemed forced and a little crooked.
This is the second time we've gone through one of these numbered doors, but... Whew. You never really get used to it.
I don't want to get used to it. I'm straight, no longer out of breath, and wiped some sweat from his head and neck. Clover smirked at him.
I would have thought a guy your size would have bigger balls than that.
Ooh.
What? What the hell did you just say? Say it again! I dare you!
You have no...
You little... You wanna die?
Shut
I'd
up.
like to see you try.
Shut up, you two.
You fucking brat. Alright, let's go!
I'll punch you.
Hey, calm down, guys. This isn't the time for this.
No.
It's not gonna do us any good.
What even is this? Junpei sighed. Sometimes he wondered if the doors and the puzzles were really the greatest challenge they faced.
Wait here for a minute, alright? I'm gonna go see if there are any other doors.
Hello, door. Junpei wasn't in the mood for a conversation anyway.
We just came through this door. And of course it's shut tight.
I mean, yeah.
There's a short hallway on the left here. And an iron wall. I doubt I can get through it.
At last he gave up and returned to 7, who was tapping lightly on the wooden door.
This door's the only option we've got, right?
Yep.
Yeah, looks like it.
Hey, something's written on the door.
Ooh.
On that iron plate.
It says operating room.
Okay.
If this thing's telling the truth, there could be body parts inside here.
Yeah, that,
Well, this is probably not going to be pleasant.
No. Something about it made Junpei feel
Well,
nervous.
there's no point to standing around. Might as well go in and see what's waiting for us.
Yeah, sure. 7 grabbed the brass knob and slowly opened the door. Creaks of the hinges sounded like a groan of an old woman.
What's wrong?
No, it's nothing.
Chill snaked its way down Junpei's
Let's
spine.
just go.
Quickly, he gathered what courage we could and took the first step into the room. Seven followed with Clover right behind him.
Huh?
Part of the room just past the door was obscured by a
What the hell
screen.
is this?
An operating
Why
room?
don't we take a look?
Hey, Clover.
Clover's curiosity got the better of her, and she darted past Junpei to peer across the screen. Her screams nearly blew out Junpei's eardrums.
What?
Clover!
He and Seven ran towards Clover to see what had frightened
Hey,
her.
what's wrong?
They rounded the screen, and the cause of her outburst was immediately clear.
What the hell is this?
A dummy?
Is this a corpse?
It looks... No. That's very clearly a dummy. It looked kind of like a human lying on some sort of bed. No, not a bed. An operating table. Table ran on a rusty steel lift, and a cluster of bright operating lights shone down from the
We
ceiling.
should probably take a closer look.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's very clearly not an actual person. As they got closer to the become body, it became clear that it wasn't a body after all.
This is...
A
What the
dummy.
hell? That's just a huge doll or something.
Doll?
Yes. Clover did not look terribly comforted. Slowly she approached the operating table and looked as intently as possible from as far away as possible at the thing. Yume could see her relax.
You're right. It's only a doll.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it really scared me.
She heaved a great sigh of relief and wiped a few drops of sweat from her forehead. Seven smirked.
Well, I guess it would have been weird if you actually had any balls.
Shut it.
Ooh.
Don't you start with me, fatty.
Oh, what's this? You want a piece of me, short stuff?
Shut up, you two.
Bring it on, you whale.
Hey, guys, not again, okay?
Seriously, knock it off.
We have more important things to deal with.
Jeez. Anyway, it looks like he's got
Jeez.
something the two of you could stand to have a little more of.
A heart.
I'm talking about a heart.
Ooh.
Oh, this? You mean on his chest?
Yeah.
Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. It was a little higher than normal for a human body. From the shape of the organ, there could be no doubt it was a heart.
Why would there be a heart in a doll?
To practice operating,
I
Clover.
don't think it's a doll.
You think maybe it's like a medical mannequin or something?
Yes, exactly, actually.
Maybe it's got more personal uses.
Seven, shut up. This girl was more than a little perverted. Clover glared at him.
Anyway, how about we take a look around this place? Let's go.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Seek a way out. Alright, let's go to the doll first. These dolls are really creepy, you know? Hey, it says something here. John. You think that's this doll's name? Maybe. This thing is creepy. Wonder why it's on the bed. Group of mannequins. Apparently his name is John. Hey, I wonder if this thing is... It says kilogram on the display. Think maybe it's a scale? Hi, Twister. Huh? There's some sort of lid on this thing. Why don't you try opening it? Can't. There's no handle. Can't get under it with my nails either. We got surgical tools. None of these other stuff looks useful. Yeah, it's all pretty rusty. Medical mannequin with its guts showing. Ew, gross. Hey, Junpei. That slit over the thing's chest. Yeah, sure is. There's something in there. Maybe we can get it out. Ugh, damn it. Stinking thing won't budge. It's stuck. I guess you can't use force on this one then. We need something small and fit through the little hole. Good thing we got a scalpel. Internal organ. Specifically, a lung. Alright, apparently the scalpel isn't what we need. They use these for surgery, right? Let's see. Syringes, cups, and a plate. Sort of scissor-ish thingy. One of them looks like a pair of scissors. Okay. I tried to click that twice. Furnace. What's this thing? Look, got these short iron legs. Maybe it's a heater? There's nothing inside it. Anything underneath this? Hello? Another medical mannequin? The looks of it, this one's a chick. She has a name too. Lucy. Poor thing. Looks like Miss Lucy only has a head and a left arm. Maybe we're supposed to gather all of her parts? Alrighty. Well, here's a part. Fake chest. Has like a card reader in the chest. Oop. Ew, that's gross. This is the chest. It's a woman's chest. The heart's gone, but it's pretty hot. That kind of thing turns you on, Seven. You're a real creepo. I don't disagree with that. Maybe you're supposed to heat something like that in all the gauze to kill bacteria. There's a boiler thing there. Nothing on the lid or the drawers. What's in there? Looks like it's locked. Guess we're not gonna get a need for key for this one. Junpei, where are you going? That's the door we came through. The only thing out there is a numbered door. Sure, I don't need to tell you the numbered door is a one-way deal, so you're saying there's no point going back, huh? And they're nodding. Awesome. It's locked. Probably find the key if we just look a little more. Let's find somewhere else. Let's... Okay, why did the forceps work, but not the scalpel? Whatever. It's just out. It's a lung, not an organ thing. Huh? This part here on the back, it's all rubbery. You're right. It's a fake organ in the neck. Well, of course it'd be. Wait, what's Evan grabbing it for? Hey, it feels like there's something in here. Think we can cut through the rubber parts? Let's try. Hey, the organ key. Also, a white cloth. Thank you. That wasn't obvious. Let's also just put the fake chest here. That doesn't look very comfortable. An old hard bed. Lucy's head. And gather all her body parts. Okay, apparently, we aren't allowed to do that. Whoopsie. Just making sure about that. Yep, nothing. Operating table. Yeah, we can't actually do anything with it. So let's see if the organ key works on either of these rooms. Cool, it's unlocked. Let's see, a piece of paper. What's this? Some kind of medical record? New material's been added to the file screen. Okay, file. Flowchart, calculator, controls, medical report. Medical report found in the preparations room. Retour mannequins. There's a male mannequin named John, female named Lucy. Total weight and weight of each of their parts. So 51.3 kilograms, 53.2 kilograms. That'll be useful for later. Found a beaker. White light's glowing on top, but the red, blue, and purple ones still aren't lit. Ah, dies. It won't open. I think it's locked. There's a red plate on it. Do you think that means something? Damn, it's not opening. Locked, of course. Okay, so I guess those aren't actually the things that we need. A sink. Doctors and nurses probably wash their hands here before an operation. Nothing suspicious here. Anything through here? Oh, that looks like a Jupiter sign. Think this is the exit? What's this? Light switch? Doesn't seem to be working. Lock on the door, key. Okay. Let's check over here. Awesome, it's unlocked. This thing won't open. Is it locked? You probably need to put in a passcode. I mean, geez, they even got a keypad here. How much more obvious can you get? You only can enter 3 numbers. Give it a shot. I have no idea what the numbers can be. Note on the table. Iron equals 1, salt equals 2, water equals 3, carbon dioxide unknown, ammonia unknown, ethanol unknown. What do you think this is a hint for? It's got something to do with this box. Blue liquid. Red liquid. Hey Junpei, do you think there are any slugs on this ship? Huh? Well, if there are, I was thinking we could put salt on them. What's she pointing at? Label states NaCl. Salt, huh? You think Seven will shrivel up if we put this on him? Hey! You say something? Junpei, there's a bottle of iron powder on the shelf. How do you know it's iron? Label says Fe. Fe stands for iron, right? He is correct. Something stinks. Does it come from this bottle? It says NH3. That's ammonia. Well, of course that stinks. That's ammonia. Hey, Junpei! There's dihydrogen monoxide on that shelf. Oh no, not dihydrogen monoxide. Why don't you just say water? What's this? Looks like a can with a spray nozzle. It says CO2. The can filled with carbon dioxide. Thank you for the water. Table, whenever people mix medicine on this thing. I don't think I have the numbers, so, let's just head back into this room. We got the liquids. Alright, nope. Let's do the red liquid first. Hey, it turned red. Forget about that, did you hear that just now? You can refer liquid and makes light pass through red. Okay. I think we can get through all 3 of them first. How am I today? I'm doing okay. Let's put in the blue. Hey, the blue light turned on. And I heard a noise. Sounded like something unlocking. Let's put in this. I get it. You combine the red liquid and blue liquid to make a purple one. Purple light just turned on. When I did, I heard a noise. What do you think it was? Noise came from somewhere close by. Something in this room must have changed. Alright, let's take a look. I've been doing okay. Interesting news about the Fire Emblem that came out. Ooh, a leg. Big right leg. Big left leg. Fake stomach. Okay. So apparently we do need more more information. Oh, wait a second. What is this? Iron 1, salt 2, water 3, carbon dioxide, that would also be 3, ammonia, that would be 4, ethanol. Where's the ethanol one in here? I don't remember that off the top of my head. Oh, good stuff. Let's go for a drink. What are you talking about? I'm talking about that bottle. It says C2H5OH. 2789. So, ethanol. That's right. It's also known as ethyl alcohol. Pretty much what booze is made of. So, you're gonna drink it? Nah, I won't. It might say that's what it is on the label, but there could be anything in there. Alright, so CO2, that would be 3, ammonia 4, so 249. I believe that would be it. Oh wait, no, not 2. It would be 3. I'm an idiot. 349. There we go. Got a heart and another arm. Right arm of the body, it's kind of creepy. Fake heart. Actually, a heart, this thing's really creepy. And good at heart. Right arm, medical mannequin, okay.
You think we should go back?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think that's probably best.
Clover nodded and left. Junpei was about to follow her when he realized that Seven wasn't following suit.
Hey, Seven, what's up?
Oh, well,
Are you going to drink the alcohol? Please tell me you aren't going to drink the alcohol. Oh my goodness. Then back down at the brown bottle you cupped in his large hand.
Medicine bottle?
I got curious about it. Here,
What is it? Response 7 tossed the bottle gently to Junpei. Caught it and twisted around to read the label.
Ethylene diamine tartrate?
What?
yeah, that's right. CDT.
Okay.
What kind of medicine is that?
It's not medicine. I think it's an industrial strength detergent.
Okay.
Why would they have something like that here?
Well, probably to clean stuff up.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Clean what up?
Fuck if I know. Still, it looks like it's cleaned my brain up.
What? Junpei looked up from the bottle.
You remember something?
Yeah.
7 nodded slowly and spoke.
Well, I remember a story about EDT.
I remember a story about EDT. What?
Happened about 50 years ago.
Okay.
There was this factory somewhere in America making big old EDT crystals. They were making it to sell
I
as
need to
an
know.
industrial strength cleaner. Like I
Yep.
told you before. But
They
a year after the factory started up,
created morphogenetic fields.
something strange started happening with the crystals they were building.
Did they become Ice 9?
Water molecules started attaching themselves to the EDT crystals. This made them into a sort of mutation of the original crystals, called a hydrate.
Mm-hmm.
Once the crystals turn into a hydrate, though, it's useless as a cleaner.
Yeah.
The factory had to just dump the crystals. As a hydrate, they were useless.
Okay, I could understand that.
But it didn't end there. After that day, the same thing started happening in EDT factories everywhere, even ones nowhere near that
Oh,
first
great.
American
We had a
factory.
morphogenetic EDT.
They'd been making crystals the same way, with the same materials and the same equipment and environment. But now, all of a sudden, every single crystal they formed turned into a hydrate. In fact, ever since that day, no factory anywhere has been able to make a pure EDT crystal.
I don't think that's real.
Even in EDT research done years before, they'd never gotten a hydrate. But after it happened at the first factory, it just...
It's more of this stupid glycerin thing, which apparently is not real.
It was like... Man, how do you say it?
You mean like it was infected with a virus or something?
Mm-hmm. 7 shook his
No,
head.
not like that. It spread like wildfire. It showed up in labs that were completely isolated from the rest of the world. It even started happening to crystals that were completely sealed up. It doesn't seem like it could have been a result of this stuff coming in contact with other samples.
Okay.
Then
Morphogenetic
Yes, some sort of
EDT.
Like, the crystals were transmitting this information all across the world somehow.
I love pseudoscience hour.
what
Oh boy.
information?
How to make a new crystal. Someone had to tell this stuff how to do it, right?
Just reading the EDT a bedtime story about how to become a hydrate.
Like he just whispered to the EDT in the tank, "Hey, If you do this, you can take in water molecules.
If you do this, you can become hydrated.
Come on, man. That's just. I mean, who is this someone anyway?
The other EDTs.
Someone you can't see. Someone who exists all over the world.
You mean, like a god?
Or maybe the devil.
Seven grinned. As Junpei was trying to figure out what on earth he was going to say next, Clover's shrill voice pierced the room.
Hey, what are you two doing over there?
Talking about hydrating crystals, clearly.
Stop wasting time and get over here.
Alright.
Okay, we're coming.
Jeez.
Seven looked at Junpei.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the story.
Mm-hmm.
It might be useful someday. Don't forget it.
I love the idea that everybody's like telling these random stories to Junpei and just like, hey, this'll be useful. Make sure you remember. That cryptic remark, he turned and left the room. Junpei was left behind to ponder what he just heard.
Information being transmitted invisibly.
Morphogenetic
Such a thing really
fields. I guess we don't know about morphogenetic fields in this timeline.
Well, thinking about that crap isn't going to help me right now.
Thank you, Junpei.
We need to figure out how the hell to get out of here first.
He took a deep breath and tried to clear his mind and followed after Seven. Alrighty. Okay, so old hard bed. Okay, so we've collected 7 parts of the medical mannequin. Yeah. Seems like it. Let's say we give Lucy your parts back. Any objections? Nope. Agreed. Alright, let's get started. Combine! Okay. Oh, there's a number on here. 51 kilograms. What's this? Is this the weight? Oh, we were stacking body parts. Makes sense that'd be the weight. No. Wrong button. Alright, Lucy was not 51 kilograms. Nothing happened. That's odd. Maybe it's the wrong weight? Weight? Yeah, you know, like in the scale inside the bed? Maybe. We need to get scale to a specific number. How are we gonna do that? I think we're supposed to swap our body parts with John. Oh, let's give it a shot. Operating instructions, screen will display 2 medical mannequins. Switch out their body parts for selecting the part you want to switch out. Okay. So the obvious one is the heart. This is another one that makes sense to move because they just look different. Oh, come on, it won't let me actually check things. Oh, that's dumb. Go back with that. Nope. Nope. I think that is actually correct. Or maybe not. I don't think it's the... Oh, okay. Hey, Junpei, just heard something. Came from John's operating table. You better check it out. Alrighty. Over to John. Huh? Lid on the scale. We got a key! Hey, it opened! Oh, I get it. It must, open because we matched John's weight to what's on the chart. The Jupiter key! Okay. Bloop. No, it's this area we want. And through the door.
Hey, hold on.
Holding on. Junpei stopped about to put the key in the
What's
doorknob.
up?
Where's Clover?
Where is Clover?
Huh?
Junpei turned around and Clover was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, God damn it. Where the hell did she go? Okay, just hold on a minute. I'll go get her.
Sure thing.
Junpei left Seven at the door and headed back to the operating room. He found her standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin.
Hey, Clover, what's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here.
Aww, she didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead.
What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John?
Aww. It wasn't the best joke, but it was something. An attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. Aw, poor Junpei. Nobody laughs at his joke, even when there are people here. She stood stock still and
Hey,
said
Clover,
nothing.
Can you hear me?
Perhaps it was something he'd said, or perhaps it was something else. Suddenly her mouth opened, she whispered in a dry, dead voice.
My brother might be dead.
Don't worry, Clover. He is. Thanks, time travel.
Huh?
That's why we couldn't find him.
Yeah.
If he's dead, I'm going to be next.
Oh no. Suddenly, the operating room felt very, very cold.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
He gave her a small shake, but she still didn't respond. The silence grew heavier.
Let's just get out of here. We've got the key. Let's use it.
Come
That
on.
Cool with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clover nodded, almost imperceptibly. Still, Junpei was glad to see she was at least somewhat responsive.
Then it's time to go.
Put his hand on her shoulder and guided her to the preparation room. As they arrived at the door, she suddenly stopped.
I'm sorry.
Aww, it's okay. Your brother might be dead. You're allowed to feel a bit upset. What was that? Why was she apologizing? Junpei wasn't sure what to make of her. Was she emotionally unstable because her brother had gone missing? You know, that might just be it.
I'm really sorry. Just forget everything I told you, okay?
Oh,
Don't worry about it. Really. I mean it.
how could anyone pretend to not hear something like that? But something told him this wasn't the time to press the issue. Junpei gave her the warmest, kindest smile he could
All right.
manage. Unfortunately, Junpei is not good at smiling, so Clover was just creeped out instead.
Thank you.
Her smile was weak. It was almost painful to watch.
Damn, what the hell took you guys so long?
Seven looked up as they walked in the room, clearly
You put a
irritated.
doctor in there or something?
Maybe. Jealous?
Seven avoided answering the question. They stood in front of the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key.
Alright, I'm gonna open it now. Is that cool?
No, it's not cool, Junpei. We need to stay here forever.
You don't need to keep asking, just do it, alright?
Fine then.
He slid the key into the keyhole and turned it. He felt it unlock. Guys, I think we found the way out. The door opened with a soft, melancholy creak. Beyond it lay a simple white hallway. There was no fanfare or confetti. Oh, man. Obviously, there was no one to applaud them. They simply walked through the door. That was
Alright,
it.
let's get going.
Hey man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know?
Why so serious?
Can't you sound more happy, you know, get a little excited?
We found the way out! Yay!
Not really.
Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway. I'm never happy.
My brother might be dead. I'm going to be next.
Yeah, okay. He's allowed to be a little unhappy about this. Well, only a few minutes before that, her brother was probably dead and she was likely to follow him.
Like hell I can. Not after hearing something like that.
Yeah. Junpei needs a hug. All these people need a hug, let's be honest. Aside from maybe the Ninth Man. Maybe don't hug him at the moment. They left the operating room. The hallway took them to several corners and past several doors, but they were all locked.
There too, huh? Every door in this place is locked up tight.
Not every door.
How about that one?
We celebrate when a door isn't locked.
May as well give it a try.
Junpei grabbed the handle. As he made to push it, a voice stopped him. The voice came from behind him and belonged to neither Seven nor Clover.
Jumpy!
Huh?
Yay! There isn't too much to hug of the ninth man. He spun around. He saw someone running towards him at the other end of the hallway. There were 3 people coming toward Junpei and his companions.
June? And Santa? And Lotus too!
Yay! Friends! They pulled up short in front of Junpei, breathing hard.
Whoa! What the hell is this?
What are you doing here?
We finished our puzzles.
What? But we didn't...
Very good finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys! Could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of the small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to curious what she had
Look on
found.
the wall here.
There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway. A map.
A map of the ship's interior?
Yay!
It says C deck. So it's the map for this floor then?
Mm-hmm.
Door 7. And... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
So does, door 3. In
Yeah,
fact.
Isn't that what I said?
Hmm.
We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9.
Yeah.
We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9.
Yep.
And that's how the nonary game works.
I see.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. Hey, could this lead to...
Leads to the hospital room, hopefully. More closely, his surprise and excitement
Oh.
gave way to weariness.
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
Yep.
Yeah.
He moved as one for the
I
door.
almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map of the ship's interior off of the wall, put it into his pocket, and followed the others. 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other 5.
I'm gonna open it.
You don't have to say it, just do it. Okay, 7, you'll call me out on that, but you won't call out Santa? Well, 5 know the silent agreement. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew that where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would be.
We're back.
Yay! Is Ace awake?
In the hospital room.
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory.
Yep.
And then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
Mm-hmm. He looked like anyone might after only just waking up, but seemed that his brain was working as well as ever. He managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
7
I
smiled.
say we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
Can't...
Key?
Ain't that what I just said?
We have a Jupiter key.
Talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Yeah?
Yeah.
But we could go through door 3. It wouldn't waste that much time.
Oh, the solar system keys. We found a couple more in the laboratory in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
We have
the Earth
Saturn
key
and
the Saturn
Earth.
key card.
And press them into Junpei's hands. The metal key had the Earth symbol, and the key... Whoops! Ah, no. My GameCube controller fell.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to
Yeah,
it.
you don't really have
That way it won't be my
pockets.
fault if it gets lost.
Thanks, Lotus.
Yeah. On it.
Junpei felt slightly less than honored.
Now we have 3 keys that we haven't used yet.
Yeah. The Jupiter key that we found in the operating room.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth key that Lotus just gave me. And the Saturn key card that Lotus said was in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Junpei tucked the new keys in his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah, that's the only one we can reach at the moment. We
Yeah.
can't get to the other two.
If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase.
Oh, and that
Then
would
next
let
to the
us to,
stairs.
there.
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Yeah, let's go
Look,
through it.
You saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room.
Yeah, but it could have more
There's
keys.
no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
It has the Mercury key in it.
There is a point.
Yes, there
At
is.
least there is for me.
There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at Seven as hard as she could, just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. Seven looked everywhere in the room except at Clover, and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Oh, Clover nodded once. Next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again.
Okay.
So, Seven, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh?
Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7 is 12. That equals 3. It looked like 7 was doing them too. At last, he gave up.
Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be.
All
So
right.
I'm going with you, huh?
Have fun.
Yes, you are.
Alright, let's get moving.
So it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3.
Okay, we're heading out.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The
Yeah.
rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
Yep. 7 nodded as if the answer made much more sense, and pulled the lever on the red. Bye!
Okay.
Have
we're off.
fun! Door opened and Ace, Clover, and 7 jumped through it. Remember to make lots of friends on your trip to school. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
All right, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Yeah.
Get moving.
Where are we going?
Everyone except Lotus seemed rather
Well,
confused.
it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we could check and see what these keys actually
Let me
do.
explain.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
We're not gonna find Snake. They were at the end of the hallways, lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
Let's enter it, then.
All right, Junpei, open it if you please.
Yeah,
Yep.
on it.
Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid into a keyhole. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a breath, held it, and opened the door as quickly as he could. Yep, we're back in the central hallway, so we can get to the Earth and Saturn places. In a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with massive central staircase.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
Yes, because we have the Earth and the Saturn
What
keys.
do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we?
No, we
I'm
didn't.
asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
Of
Of
course.
course there's a reason. Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky.
Huh?
This.
Junpei pulled the 2 things out of his pocket.
The Saturn key card. And the Earth key?
Yes.
I'm lost.
Really? Really, Santa? Cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird. It's funny because he's Rivali, and looked at them. After several long moments, during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, Junpei took pity on him.
Don't you remember, Santa? On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember?
Yes.
And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left,
There was the Earth door.
there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it.
Yes.
So the 2 keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Good job, Santa. Gold star. June smiled, pleased with herself. So did Santa.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you say we split into 2 teams? Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
All right.
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Enjoy the key. They decided their initial search would
We
be
have
brief.
no idea what's on the other side of these. So don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
Yeah, that's fair. And decided the 2 teams split up. Junpei and June headed towards the
There's
elevator.
a card reader next to the left elevator.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
Hey, it worked. Light under the left corner blinked a
Great.
leaf.
It looks like it's working now.
All right. Now, how do I call the elevator?
Push the button. There was a single button to the right of the elevator door.
Oh, it only has the upside down triangle on it.
Yes.
I guess there's no up button.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we're on
May
A
as well
deck.
try
That makes
pushing this
sense.
one.
Door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down.
It opened! Look, Jumpy!
Where are we at the moment? Okay. June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tingle of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened. Let's get going.
Let's go, and stepped towards the open door. As he was about to step foot, he felt a hand on his arm.
Wait!
Oh.
What?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
I don't like elevators. Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? June was probably afraid of... We can only go down? I mean, this one will probably be a bit funnier, so let's go with this one. After a little thought, Junpei decided that she had to be nervous about being locked up in such a small space alone with a boy.
Well, we will be all alone in here.
Oh my god, Junpei. In a way, it was kind of cute. Very demure, you could say, he thought. Still, even though it wasn't exactly roomy in the elevator, they weren't going to be pressed up against one another. At least they didn't have to be. Shut up, Junpei. Still, it was making her nervous. Junpei couldn't help but think about how innocent she was.
Jumpy?
Huh? Oh, nothing. It's not important. Come on, let's go.
Again, he stepped towards the elevator. And again, he felt himself restrained.
I said wait a minute.
We're waiting.
Why?
Aren't you afraid, Jumpy?
Of?
Afraid of what?
Well, I've never... You know.
It's your first time?
It's my first time being in an elevator with a boy. You've never been in an elevator with a man alone before? Even so, she still seemed awfully alarmed.
I might get wet.
God, this is awful.
What?
Down there. I'd get soaking wet.
Oh my god, this is awful.
Well, I mean, of course you would. That's the way it works.
I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else.
That's true. You don't mind
Mind what?
getting wet?
Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably, like it.
Oh my god, this is awful.
Gosh, Jumpy, you're so brave.
Really? I mean, I kind of think any guy would do the same thing, you know?
What happens, happens, right? I mean, if you get the chance, you've just got to go for it. That's what a man is supposed to do.
Oh my god.
I guess.
This is awful. I love it.
You're so cool, Jumpy. I really
So
admire
brave.
That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you ought to admire someone for.
you. I'm really scared.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you've never done it before.
Yes. So,
I don't
think I'll
know.
be able to last very long. And then it'll be over.
Is she? I don't even know what she's actually talking about. I assume it has to do with like swimming. Has she never been swimming
over?
before?
Yes. I'll go to heaven.
Heaven?
It feels kind of like you're floating in space, and your mind gets all fuzzy, like when you pass out. At least that's what I've heard from people who have experienced it.
Ah, yes, I've heard that too. Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys.
What?
I think drowning.
Huh?
But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to anyone.
Drowning? Maybe? I don't
Once
know.
it gets into your body, the same thing happens to everyone.
Well, I mean, usually it doesn't go inside the man. I mean, generally.
Yes, it does.
The water goes
Well,
into the man.
Eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it. Eventually.
God, I forgot about this
What are you
entirely.
trying to do to me?
Nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm just saying that that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing.
Oh, is that so?
That's only natural? Is that what's natural for living beings? Perhaps he'd been mistaken all these years. He misunderstood life so gravely. The thought terrified him. June's just gotta be playing at this point. I don't know. June seemed to be entirely oblivious to Junpei's mounting confusion
I know
and terror.
most men probably have larger lungs, but even then, I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even 10 minutes. Eventually, you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs. Once that happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Oh.
Penny in the air, and the pennies dropped. Finally, Junpei understood. He understood what June was trying to say and why she was so scared.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long.
See?
She was afraid that only the elevator button button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on A or B decks near the central staircase. That would mean the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks.
Come to think of it, the lower floor, D deck, is completely underwater. An elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
And it's dry.
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise, like it was moving, and then it opened.
It took 5 years to get to the point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I kind of want to know what the other option would say now.
So, take a look inside.
Junpei jerked his hand towards the interior of the elevator.
It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Oh, you're right. They are.
She looked around the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Test it.
Yeah, watch this. Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons.
The elevator just largely skips the scene.
Oh,
Okay.
There's only two, E and C. All right, I'll push E.
Going to E deck. Push the E button, jumped out of the elevator. Door slid shut, and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator card moved down. The other option gets straight to the point, but that's not fun.
I think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
A few moments later, the elevator returned.
Yep, not a single drop of water to be seen.
That's not how water works, though.
See?
Apparently E deck is completely airtight. Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest just a little bit. June, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean?
It means E-Deck is airtight, and we will die from lack of oxygen if we go into air.
How can E-Deck be safe if the D-Deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E-Deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured.
Yeah, that means that there's no oxygen in
Here,
E-Deck.
let me show you.
Pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I see. So is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The
Hey.
shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back into his
So I'm
pocket.
gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, alright?
But...
Come on, just do it, alright?
Alright. Gave June's shoulders a little reassuring squeeze, then hopped into the elevator. The button in the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she were trying to make a decision when suddenly...
I'm coming with you!
Okay.
Huh?
At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors.
Hey, wait!
Junpei jammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late.
Oh, crap. It closed.
Now we're together in an elevator, oh no! The door had shut and he and June were in the elevator heading toward E-Deck. He was surprised by June that he didn't even have the time to think about what awaited him on the E-Deck.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah. The elevator stopped and the door slid open. Tentatively stepped out and looked around.
Looks normal.
No fish going about their fishy business or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish. Or at least something that looked very much like one. June's cheeks were puffed out and her mouth a tiny, intense frown.
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded.
Yeah.
Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
June looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
We'll die. Junpei thought about that for a moment.
Well, we'd probably get really wet up there.
Huh?
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here.
Yeah.
Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Now then.
Junpei glanced around the room. They found themselves in iron gate. Notice was thick set of iron bars and ran the length of the room, separating the left elevator
Iron
from this one.
bars. Well, we can't go over there.
Nope.
Right.
Then maybe.
The other side. Corner room that housed the elevator. Junpei
Well-
found an opening. Walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner.
It looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
Door 6.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait, is that?
Let's check.
It's your door, June. Junpei and June set off toward the hallway in brisk clips, somewhere between a run and a jog. Before long, they found themselves in front of the door. On it was a number written in bright red paint. 6.
I knew it!
This is a numbered door.
Yay! Okay, still have a bit more. D, there was a red bolt in the wall next to the door, and it actually
But we
works.
can't do anything with only the two of us.
No, we would need Santa. Actually, no, we can't use Santa.
We better head back and
We
let
would need
everyone
Santa
know.
and Ace.
Yes.
Junpei and June turned and headed back towards C-Deck.
Wait, what's this?
On their way back, Junpei noticed a map on the wall.
Is this the map for E-Deck? I should take it with me. Huh, so you guys found door 1.
Mm-hmm. They met back up with Santa and Lotus, who had explained what they had found. Apparently there was another numbered door on A-Deck, just like the one on E-Deck, beyond the door that the Earth Key had opened. According to Santa and Lotus, it was a 1 on the
now
door.
we've located 2 new doors, the 6 door and the 1 door.
You know, it is interesting that E-Deck wasn't flooded.
Yeah. Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought,
we don't
all
really
alone.
know if all of E-Deck is safe. We
Yeah.
only checked the area around the elevator.
Even so, it's still very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Then that means Zero planned all this out, even the sinking. That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
Yes, it
It's
would.
pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
So much
Would have been
money.
a ton, that's for sure.
Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does make sense.
The thought made them all go quiet for a moment. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared off in the distance at nothing. I don't think there's any combination with the 4 of us that can go through either of those doors. One door. Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
No. June looked up at Junpei with large,
Yeah,
pleading
you're right.
eyes.
Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei, and I should be able to open door 1.
Oh, you're right, we can.
You guys leaving me behind?
Yes. 8 plus 6 plus 5 is 19. That equals 10. That equals
Just
1.
kidding. All right, let's go.
Lotus's words were all the impetus they needed. Back to the large hospital room they went. And when they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room.
Hey! Where the hell did you guys go?
It was 7.
7?
Ace was right behind him, and Clover was behind Ace, although she seemed to be hanging back.
What's wrong?
Looked as though there was something strange about them. 7 had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she were only moments from passing out entirely. For a long moment, they simply stood there, looking at one another. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at 7.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
7 was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him, hard. His shoulders were trembling, and his voice was strained.
Snake is...
7 couldn't finish. He just looked away, his face twisted by. Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. Took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is... dead.
Oh.
He died, just as the 9th man did.
As if the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beating on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All 3 were frozen in place, their faces white.
Oh my god, that's not true, is it?
Hi, Cobalt. Welcome to death.
We should make sure.
Yeah, right. We should.
They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door.
Wait! Not that way!
What? Why not?
They stopped short and turned to look at 7. He was pointing at the door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Okay. Thanks,
Where
7.
Where is he?
The shower room. The left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
Their new destination clear, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Another streamer already do this game, so...
This wasn't open when we passed here before.
Oh, once in the hallway, it's easy to spot the metal door on the left wall. Now, just as 7 said, there was a broom stuck between the door and the frame, keeping it open.
Let's keep going.
Well, hope you enjoy me talking through the game. Looked at it for a moment, then stepped inside.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Lotus wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air, so thick they could almost taste it. It was sour and smelled of fish, feces, and burnt meat. What a description. It worked its way through Junpei's nose and down his throat, pound against the entrance of his stomach. He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was in his stomach where it belonged. I mean, there isn't really anything in your stomach. The bomb's not even in your stomach anymore.
Where is he? Where's Snake?
They didn't have to wonder where the body was.
There.
There was blood everywhere, a few arms of the splatter reaching towards them as they walked through the door. I just ate dinner. Sorry, Twister. That was your own fault. The body itself was hidden
June,
behind a divider.
You should stay here.
But...
Please, just do me a favor, okay?
Don't look at the
Alright?
body. He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole, turned and walked towards the end of the divider.
I'm going in.
It felt like an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually, they reached the divider. They looked at one another and nodded slowly. Junpei put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner. For a moment, he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew in the instant that he would take the image before him to the grave. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall, and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down on the wall even as they dried to it.
Just like Ace said.
Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own.
Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
Looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. I'm suing whoever wrote this.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
A bit more open than most people care. His legs were both bent in an unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay upon the ground in pieces.
Face. It's horrible.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood clotting almost made it like... the blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes too were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
No. Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei heard a catch in her throat. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like a noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more a ghost. Can we skip this? Yes, we can. Yeah, talking about Snake being murdered. He ran, hoping to survive, but it didn't happen. It was probably at least 2 people. Was Junpei on the ship with them? I'm not sure. He wasn't sure.
Something's still strange.
What was that?
Well, I'm just wondering about one thing.
And what's that?
How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
Haze's eyebrows shot up.
Really, Junpei? I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp. Isn't it obvious?
No.
Wait, it is?
This ship.
Huh?
Yeah.
Zero said, this ship, several times when he addressed us.
Yes.
If he weren't here, he wouldn't say this ship, would he?
I mean, he could.
He'd be saying something like, that ship, or the ship.
I am captain of this ship.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Or he could be doing it to trick us? Ace's explanation made perfect sense. No, it doesn't. Junpei felt a little foolish that he had seen it himself. Still, he was left with a question. It was one of no small importance.
If Zero's on the ship, where is he?
It's with us or in the captain's quarters, I guess. Maybe he's in the maybe he's hidden in the first class cabin. We just missed him. Maybe Zero is in the safe. Heard the ghosty moaning noise. We can skip again? Yes, we can. That's Clover saying that I think Zero is one of us. That's crazy.
Isn't the ship going to sink in a few hours? If Zero was here with us, he'd be putting himself in danger.
Yes.
Why the hell would he do something like that? There's no motive.
Clover looked up at Junpei and her face fell.
You don't believe me.
No, I believe you. I just want to go through the other dialogue option. Her eyes were so pitiful. The moment Junpei's met them, he felt his heart tighten. He didn't think what he said was wrong, but perhaps the way he said it had been. He'd been too insensitive. Clover just lost her brother. His death would have been bad enough, but she'd also seen the blasted wreck of his body. Junpei barely knew him, and the sight had been enough to make him sick. What Clover had felt, he couldn't begin to imagine. In the mental state she must be in, it must be understandable that she would look at those around her with suspicion. She felt everyone was against her. The least Junpei could have done was try to understand what she was feeling. He felt ashamed as what he said. Perhaps he thought I should apologize. Before that apology could begin...
Clover, I understand what you're feeling. You don't feel that you can trust any of us.
She probably can't. Ace had beaten Junpei to the punch. As he spoke to Clover, his face was calm and friendly.
But you have to understand. The more we distrust one another, the further we fall into our true foe's trap. Zero was the one who did those horrible things to your brother.
Yes.
Do you want to let yourself be manipulated by someone who would do such a horrible thing?
No. Clover didn't answer. She didn't even look at Ace. The whole time, her eyes were on Junpei. Could feel Clover's eyes boring into him. They were the color of deep winter, saw no suspicion of them, only sadness. And that horrible silence. Okay, still can't skip yet. They heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
Then we need to move now. 7. Clover, I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now...
Why did you let that
important we
skip
trust one
that
another,
small little
don't you?
part? 7 Clover remained silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere
We
very
must
far
go.
away.
We have very little...
Okay.
But maybe you and June should check it out first and then report back to us.
What? About what? Next destination is Mercury.
All right, let's go, June.
Right. Here it is.
Alright, let's go. Sad bolted to the wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen between the 2 elevators.
The Mercury card reader.
Mm-hmm.
We're using the card 7 gave us, right?
Yes.
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
I think 7 said something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what happens.
Hopefully it will work. Junpei slid the car through the reader. And the reader turned green, made a tiny electronic noise.
I guess the elevator works now.
Jumpy, I know it's only the 2 of us, but let's do our best.
Let's
What's
go.
with you all of a sudden?
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
Y'all.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
Even so, I'm glad I'm with you.
Yay.
Oh. First, we need to find out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Just like we did before.
Mm-hmm. Survey said. And then they drowned.
Oh, here it is.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
Nope.
Let's go.
Yes.
It's not wet. Down there. Once I'm in check for water, Junpei and June stepped through into the elevator.
Look! Nearly all of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the seat and bottom button can be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
We're on C deck right now, so the only one we can choose is bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's try it out.
Let's check out the bottom. Hit the bottom button. Door closed. Yeah, I can't skip. And they move downward. I guess, but we can't skip any of this part.
This is the bottom deck.
Mm-hmm. Stepped off what seemed like the hallway. Wow, this is still part of this? Really? Hallway in front of them was a dead end. Not a regular dead end.
Over there.
The two-door.
This is a numbered...
This is the 8th one we found. There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase.
5, 6...
They were doors 4 and 5.
Oh wait, 4 and 5. Whoops.
3 more in the large hospital room. Doors 3, 7, and 8.
Mm-hmm.
And the door we found on E deck, and the door Lotus and Santa found on A deck. It was a 6 on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door on A deck.
So we found 4, 5, 3, 7, 8, 6, and 1.
That means...
All we're missing is door 9.
Do you think the next door we find?
Yeah, I think so. The next one's gonna be door 9.
Yay! Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well.
Finally!
Yeah,
You don't look very happy about it, though.
it's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You're right. We should keep our fingers crossed.
Let's head back.
Okay.
Did his best to put it in his mind and head back to the C deck with June.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 7 pieces.
Pieces of paper they had folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's leg. Everyone had written on the paper, pulled from Junpei's notebook, in an effort to pull together a blind
Just
vote.
double checking, but everyone wrote their code name and a door number they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Can't believe we're voting here.
Why they decided to vote that way?
We need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
I have a brilliant idea. They decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. They allowed people to force others to go through a certain door.
Yeah, quiet in the peanut gallery.
And he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of, however, so he did his best to act calm as he began to open and read pieces of paper.
Let's open these up. The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why?
Sure.
No, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going.
He opened the second one.
Next is Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
You may continue with third, fourth, and fifth pieces of
Clover
paper.
wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Wait a minute. There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
No, there'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But...
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
Ooh.
I am not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
That is true.
So, last I checked, that's not a crime.
Maybe. But what about common decency?
Ooh.
Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
Shut up, you two. That animation just... Whee! Lotus's hair flat out like a mane of an angry lion, and she roared with a
not
voice
good.
that shook the walls.
Let go of me! I'm killing him!
I love that that with Ace just, oh, not good. Some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her.
Junpei, read the rest.
Right.
Junpei tore his eyes away and looked down at the sixth piece of paper. He opened it.
June wants door 6.
Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
Of all the pieces of paper, save Junpei's had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head.
So this was everyone's vote. Ace and Clover requested door 1.
The door on A deck near the central staircase.
Seven and Lotus requested door 2.
That's the bottom deck. Door on the bottom deck could be reached by taking the elevator to the bottom
Santa
step.
and June requested door 6.
There's the red door on E deck and could be reached down by taking the elevator in the central
door I should
staircase.
choose is
Took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the 7 pieces of paper and spoke.
The last one is mine. I want to go through.
I'm just gonna pick 2 so that we get that little branch. So,
My choice is door 2.
Santa was unconvinced.
Hey, wait a minute there. You cheating?
No?
Cheating?
I'm asking if you changed your number after you heard what doors we wanted.
No?
How could I do that? I wrote it down on the paper earlier.
Let me see that.
Okay.
Sure, here.
May shrugged and handed it to him. Santa examined it furiously. The others peered at it as well. As they did, Junpei quickly slipped the piece of paper he had been hiding into his pocket. Although he'd never know it now, Santa had been justified in his suspicions. Junpei had switched papers.
I had 3 pieces of paper ready,
For doors 1, 2, and
and
6.
I put the one with door 6 on it into the pot.
Small mark on it so that he would know which one was his.
I just needed to make sure I drew last. After I saw everyone else's result, I just chose whatever door I wanted. If the number I'd already put in matched, then I didn't have to switch the paper out.
Well, what does it say?
He fought the urge to smirk.
You got lucky.
Santa snored and tossed the paper aside, frustrated.
Alright. So we know who's going through door 2.
Yeah, because the numbers work out perfectly already.
Me, Lotus, and Junpei.
20.
The problem's the other 2 teams.
June and I want door 6.
Clover and I choose door 1.
You can't get door 6 with, June and... with you and June. Because that's not... because them together is 9. They would need a combination of 6, and Ace and Clover don't get that for them.
That's not good.
Ace and Clover... Actually, they can't... neither of them can get the door that they want. Not with me, Lotus, and Santa doing this.
We can't open either of those doors with only 2 people.
Everyone was silent. And suddenly Clover spoke, her face blank and cold.
Why don't Santa and June go into door 1 with Ace?
Oh yeah, that works.
Huh?
Well,
They looked at one another. 3 + 6 + 1, and they... yep, that works. Finally,
And
Ace
what will
spoke.
you do, Clover?
I'll be waiting at the stairs.
Okay.
You guys are coming back here, right?
Yes.
That's what 7 was saying, wasn't it?
That had been what 7 said.
We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. And that's how the notary game works.
That makes sense.
I'm sorry, but I just want to be by myself for a while.
That's fair.
You understand, right?
There was no emotion on her face, but it was drawn and pale, and her eyes were red. No one had the heart to contradict her. The room grew very quiet. Silence drifted down over everything like a blanket of fresh snow. It was Santa who finally spoke.
all right. I'm going through door 1. That all right with you, June?
Yes.
June nodded.
Well, we'll be going then.
Bye, Clover. Have fun.
Let's move 2.
Yeah.
Right.
And just like that, their paths were
I won't
set.
see June for a while, but this was my choice. I'm just going to have to suck it up. 7 said we'd all see each other again, and I'm going to believe that.
Yep. We'll see June again. On the path that we
The other
took,
group
we're
went
gonna
to
see
A
her
deck to
body.
go through door 1. Clover joined them. Our group is on our way too. We're heading to the bottom deck using
He's on
the
our way
elevators.
too. Hey.
I wonder what we'll find down there.
We're gonna find a dead shark. Stepped off the elevator, head towards
You
door
ready?
2.
Yeah, anytime.
I'll go first.
One by one, place their palms on the recognition device, and 3 asterisks blink to life on the screen. Okay, Twister, question. Do I have to actually go do I have to, like, skip everything in
Let's
this,
go.
or will it, or does it not matter as long as I've done this already?
Where the hell is it this time?
Okay, so we're on the skip.
It stopped.
Yep. It feels heart pounding. Okay. Let's go a little bit, let's see what this, let's go a little bit longer until the skip, until we actually start off the puzzle. Alrighty, yeah, okay, let's save. Go into the flowchart. I think we would be fine to go anywhere else. Let's see. Yeah, no, okay, that works out fine. So it looks like we can get the pathway like that. That's fine then. Okay, let's head back to here. Making sure, yeah, we go through door 8 now. Face off the floor. Blah, 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 blah. But I think this is probably where we should take our break. So, let's switch over to the intermission screen. In the meantime, you can get a drink or a snack, use the restroom, stretch, release unneeded tension in your body, or join me in some sit-ups. I don't know what this song is, so let's go for it. Oh, this one. Yeah, sure. Maybe one that's slightly less ambient, actually. Oh, wait, that's very short. Okay, I'll be back in just a Alright. Hope everybody had a good break. Whoop! Nope! That's not what I wanted. Oopsie. Fine then. We'll go through 8. Yes, we'll go through 8.
Okay. Fine.
I'm glad that I clicked on 3 by accident.
Right. I choose door 8.
That would have been really bad if I clicked on 7. Okay, it wouldn't have been that bad.
8 it is.
Yeah.
All right then. That means June's got to go through 7.
Yes.
Huh? Why?
Okay, I can't skip this either.
Ugh, Junpei, you figured it out, right? Can you explain it to her?
Okay, so, June, if we want all 6 of us to go through a door...
Junpei chose his words carefully. Junpei finally finished. June looked as though she were about to cry.
Oh, no. You're saying we aren't going to see each other again for a long time.
No. Felt as June did, he wanted to be at her side through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed and steeled his resolve and did his best to smile.
Hey, come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again.
No.
We gotta split up, but only for a while. This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember?
We'll be together
We got split
again.
up then too, but we all met back up. I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
Mm-hmm.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
So is 3.
Yeah, probably.
I'm curious, if we had all 9 of us, could we go through 3, 7, and 8? I'm now curious about that. Let's do it like if, how many combinations of 9 can we get? If we had 7, we had Lotus, 7, and Santa. Yeah, like that, each with like a multiple of 9 for that. No, that wouldn't work. No, that wouldn't work out. Not that way, anyway. We're fine. It'll be fine. Look, I can figure that out. Oh yeah, with the 9th man, we can't have it like that at all. She didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
Because we couldn't get through door 9.
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9.
Can I skip this? No, I cannot.
The game would end right here.
Mm-hmm.
Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I'm damn sure that son of... He's not gonna end this.
Yeah, I'm going to skip it like this. Tears were going up, but her eyes were sad. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them with reassurance he could manage, laid his hand gently on her shoulder.
Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise.
Yay. June bit her lip and gave him the most imperceptible nod. Yep.
Anyway, Clover, I figure any problems with that, Clover?
Oh, yep. Clover looked away and was silent for a moment. It was more of a dismissal than agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
All right, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Santa, 7, and June walked towards door 7, while Clover, Lotus, and Junpei headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. Then Lotus laid her hand against her chest and turned to Junpei and Clover.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then shall we go?
Sure.
It's open.
A narrow hallway stretched out before them.
Okay. Hurry!
Let's go. Lotus and Clover leapt through the door. The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonators and the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his left, toward door 7. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. She turned and looked toward him. Their eyes met.
June.
Jumpy.
They nodded. Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds.
What the hell are you doing?
Then someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hauled him bodily through the door. Heard the sound of a numbered door slam shut behind him. Bracelet gave a cold electronic beep.
81 seconds left. Hurry!
Lotus snapped at him and ran towards the dead. Junpei and Clover followed her as fast as they could. With a shaking hand, she wiped a few beads of sweat from her forehead. Clover, however, was calm, aloof perhaps.
Pointless.
She muttered to herself without emotion and began to walk down the hallway, leaving behind a confused Junpei and Lotus. Lotus watched the girls receding back with a mixture of frustration and curiosity.
What an unpleasant girl. I bet she's not very popular with the boys.
Her sarcasm seemed a little more biting than was perhaps necessary, but she sighed and started after the younger girl.
Maybe pairing these two together was a mistake. Too late now. I better catch up to them.
After taking a moment to catch his breath, Junpei followed.
Oh, it's a dead end.
The hallway made a number of turns before at last coming to a dead end.
The door on the left, though.
For a few minutes, they stood in front of the door, examining it. This is my lab, and this is my laboratory.
A laboratory? Huh.
Oh, that doesn't sound very pleasant. I don't like the look of this place.
No.
Me either. But there aren't any other doors. It's not like we have a lot of choices.
All hail the door gods.
Huh?
Please, you first.
I am a loyal servant of the door gods. I shall go through the door.
Ugh, fine.
He muttered to himself and pushed open the iron door. Her steps inside were tentative and careful, but as he examined the room, it became clear that there was no imminent danger. Lotus followed him, and Clover brought up the rear. More puzzles, more puzzles! And they found themselves in was divided in two separate areas by a curved wall. The glass window built into that wall made it possible to see into the other side of the division.
No, I think the window looks into another room.
Really, Junpei? You think a window would do that?
Maybe it's for monitoring something.
He may walk to the window and look through.
What the hell?
He wasn't sure what else to say. In the center of the room, shaped like a quarter circle, a mannequin lay on what looked like a medical exam table.
It looks so creepy.
Yes, it kinda does. He jumped a little. He hadn't noticed Lotus come up next to him.
It's kind of like that doll is waiting for surgery.
This is a laboratory, right? I'd say it's more like it's waiting to be experimented on.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh,
It's creepy either way. You don't think that thing's gonna suddenly sit up or something, do you?
I would hope not.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look at all those cables sticking out of it. If we press
Beep,
the wrong
boop.
button, I don't know.
We would create the Terminator.
Stop it. Just thinking about it is terrifying.
He was gripping at her arms and knuckles of her hands white.
Wait, where's Clover?
Clover! She was still standing near the entrance of the room. Her face had the appearance of calm, but was drawn and somehow sad.
What is she?
There was something almost pitiful about her. Junpei walked over to her and, as kindly as he could, spoke.
Are you okay?
Are you okay, Buster Wolf?
What are you talking about?
You sound very dismissive, Clover.
What? I'm just worried about you. You've been real quiet.
What? I can't be quiet if I want to?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Well, I mean, of course you
Clover
can,
in her
I
tiny,
guess.
tiny hands. So small.
Okay then. If I can be quiet if I want, just leave me alone, okay?
Okay, Clover, I'm
Come on,
sorry.
No, I can't do that. We gotta work together.
Together forever, no matter how
Junpei,
long.
you just don't get it!
Her hands aren't as tiny anymore. Her cry took Junpei by surprise. He stumbled backwards a few steps,
My
alarmed.
brother's not the kind of person who'd just leave me behind! Something happened to him! Something bad.
Yeah.
Junpei had nothing to say. Lotus jolted from her mannequin nightmares by Clover's voice turned towards them.
What happened?
Clover's eyes slid to Lotus, then back to Junpei.
Look, just don't bother me, okay? Leave me alone.
Okay. Finished, she turned around. Before Junpei or Lotus could say anything, Clover had begun to walk quickly away.
Clover! Hold on! That way is...
I told you to leave me alone!
He might as well have been talking to a wall for all the notice she took of his cries. Not even slowing down, she made for a doorway cut in the wall in front of her. Without even slowing down, she passed through the doorway.
Clover, watch out above you!
And without warning, an iron gate fell from the ceiling like a portcullis? What? Porticulus? No, that... How do you pronounce that? I have no idea how to pronounce that, and quick Google isn't telling me.
What the heck? What's going on here?
You got trapped. But it means a heavy iron grate of some kind. Or, did it just say metal? Heavy vertically closing gate, typically found in medieval fortifications, consisting of a lattice grill made of wood, metal, or a combination of the two. Let's actually get chat back up.
Hang on. I'll get it open.
Oh, for crying out. You'll never do it on your own.
Junpei grabbed the bars and pulled. In a moment, Lotus joined him. The three of them pulled as hard as they could. If all three of us were pulling, that wouldn't work. Either Clover needs to push, or myself and Lotus need to push. Unless we're pulling up, which, I guess that...
Damn it! It's not moving.
Wait! Are you gonna give up? Just like that?
Yes.
No, I'm not giving up. This has got to be another one of Zero's puzzles.
If it is, then there's gotta be a way to open it.
Junpei nodded.
Now all we gotta do is find it. Lotus and I can look around out here. Clover, you're gonna have to see if you can find anything in there.
Oh, yes, I'm on it.
Okay, Clover. Have fun. I'm glad Clover decided to talk to us again. Seek a way out. Okay, what's over here? We got a bottle. Ethanol. Guess that's all there is. We can't open any of those. Can we open any of these? These lockers are a little larger than the ones on top. Let's see if there's anything useful in here. And no, nothing. Have a computer. This is the computer. The power isn't on. No, there's a power button. This is a waste of time. What? I don't see a power cable. Oh, oops, yeah, you're right. No power cable. This thing isn't even connected to a main computer, though. Got a monitor, keyboard, and mouse, but that's it. Just sticking to a power cable isn't going to do anything. Oh, I don't know about that. Okay, so we need a power cable of some kind. Ooh, here's something with... There's a lot of stuff in here. I don't know how we could use any of this. Well, I can say for sure that I do know how to use at least one of these things. Which one? The one on top. I think it's a power cable. Power cable, huh? I'll take that. This is a grounded one, it looks like. We don't have any sort of key. This looks like a keyhole for the activation key. Can't do anything with this if it's a really old type of keyboard. Hands on clock have stopped moving. Clock may stop, but the time goes on. No time to screw around. We need to figure out a way out of here. That do anything? 2 levers here. Do you think they activate something? Well, why don't you move one? Alright, I'll give it a try. Nope. Doesn't look like anything's happened. These look locked, so can't really do anything. Electronic rock, red light is on, it's gotta be locked. There's a green light below it, although that one isn't lit. It'll turn on when we unlock it, right? Yes, but how are we gonna unlock it? There's no keyhole, no card reader, and no keyboard for putting in a password. I have no idea. Alright, this work doesn't have a power cable, so one end of the cable needs to connect to the monitor, and the other end's plugged under the desk. Or I'll slip you in, huh? Shoot, I can't use this. What's wrong? This cable has 3 prongs, but the socket only has 2 holes. And that's not gonna fit as well. It's not gonna fit what I'm saying. This time we need to find a plug to charge the power cable of 2 prongs. Alright then, we can't do anything. Window made of real thick glass, don't even think a bullet could break it. Can we look into here? This is like an examination table? There's a creepy mannequin in here, guys. What's this? It's a rack. There's a bunch of cables on it. Somebody cut out the outer stuff on the cables. I can see the wires inside. I don't know what kind of table this is, but part of it's all black. There's a pen lying over here. I think someone used it to make the table black. And if they only use the pen on one part of it, there's probably something underneath all that pen. Clover, do you think you can erase it? Yeah, sure. Oh, this is permanent marker. Junpei, do you know how to erase ink from permanent marker? Erase ink from permanent marker, huh? Give me a minute, Clover. I'll be back. Okay, so we need to give her the alcohol. Wonder what this is. I think it looks like a voltmeter. This thing is the control for it? Gosh, there's so many dials. Don't you try turning one of them? Nope, nothing. No power here, guys. I'm gonna dial a bunch, but even if I turn the switches on, nothing happens. Clover, how about power cables over there? Huh? What do you mean? Does the plug have 3 prongs or 2? I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go look. Because she does have to kind of crouch down and get a look under there. Cable on the monitor has, it's got 2 of these little metal things. What does that mean? That's it! Okay, can you unplug the cable and bring it over here? Okay, but... I can unplug it, but it's connected to the main computer. I can't take it over to you. Damn it, that's no good then. Well, how about just the plug? What? The plug. Well, maybe more like a connector? It's sort of thing that makes like the plug with 3 metal thingies into a plug with 2 metal thingies. Still useless? No, not useless. Not useless at all. Just what we were looking for. Okay. Can you on to this for a little bit? And back down she goes. Alright, unplugged. I'll hand it to you guys over the bar. Let's also give her the ethanol while we're here. Clover, use this ethanol. You should be able to wipe up permanent ink with it. What am I gonna wipe with? Oh, well, your clothes, of course. Haha, kidding, just kidding. Please don't look at me like that. You're scaring me. Anyway, can you wipe out the permanent ink? Look, Clover. Right now, at this moment, you're the only person we depend on. I'm trusting you with this. You trust me? I kind of feel special. Hey, Clover. And just wander around the table. I don't think she even knows what we're calling for. Clover. Clover, we need that, prong. We can use the cloth on the table. Use, huh? Soak in ethanol, use it to wash off the stuff on the permanent marker, okay? Right, okay, so I gotta soak the cloth with ethanol. Well, she's got the cloth, but she seems to have a little trouble with a bottle of ethanol. When she's ready, I should ask her to go to work on that stuff on the table. Pulling 2 strong prongs, she just wander around the table. I think she's forgotten about the plug. There's there that just came down. A rack, there are cables. Something sticking out of the wires or something. What the hell were they doing in there? Why is she all quiet now? They were doing experiments on humans. Probably. Oh man, now she looks sad. Hey, Clover. And she's... Yeah, okay. How do I... I wonder what they washed here. There were weird colored stains on the cloth. So cloth and ethanol and... Junpei, it's working! It's wiping the permanent ink off! Huh? There's some weird drawing under all the permanent ink. What's the deal with the drawing Clover found? Maybe I should ask her to take another look at the table. Wonder what this is. There are a bunch of numbers and some kind of grid. Can't see it. I can't see it from here. Clover, you've got a pen and a notebook, right? Can you write down those numbers and then hand them to me through the bars? Okay, Roger. Alright, maybe now we can get the things? Here, Junpei. I wrote down the numbers on the desk here. Here are numbers acquired. You can share to the file screen. Here you go, the 2-prong plug. Thanks. Combine. Okay, put the 2-prong plug in the head with the cable. And also, nope, wrong button. Oh, Clover's note. 3412. It looks like a Sudoku. But no, it can't be a Sudoku because 3 plus 4 plus 1 is not 9. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work. Never mind, never mind. I'm being stupid. I forgot how Sudokus work. Alright, got the 2-prong power cable in my hand. I'm pretty sure this will work. Under the desk I go. And let's plug this thing into the monitor. Alright, that ought to do it. Alright, let's turn the power on. I don't think anything's gonna happen. Why not? Well, it's not connected to the main computer. You never know until you try. Pretty optimistic. Junpei pushed the button on the front of the monitor.
Oh, that worked.
With a soft hum, it turned on. Streams of letter that made no sense to Junpei began to scroll across the screen.
What?
He had hoped it would turn on, but he hadn't expected this.
Huh? It's running on its own?
It certainly looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kinda weird?
Maybe for whatever timeline, whatever time Junpei is in.
Well, it's not connected to the main computer, right? There's just this keyboard and monitor. The only cable connected to this thing is the power cable we just plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
So, why is it working?
Maybe it's a wireless display.
That could work. Or it's built into the monitor.
A wireless display?
Yes, it connects to your computer wirelessly, hence the name.
Thank you, Lotus.
Have you been living in a cave, Junpei?
Yes. I'm a college student. I can't afford a wireless display monitor.
Is that normal?
Yes, at least where I worked.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, it stopped.
Pass with a colon.
That would be password.
Looks like we need to enter a password.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Man, there must be a hint around here somewhere.
Could you go take a look?
Yeah, I'm on it. What are you going to do?
I'll see if I can do something about this on my own.
Okay.
On your own?
Yep, on my own.
Lotus?
Lotus pulled over the nearest chair and dropped herself onto it in front of the keyboard. For a second, she stared at the screen. She kneaded her hands, knuckles popping, and twisted her back left and right.
All right. Let's kick some ass.
Oh boy. You're chew bubblegum and kick ass. We're all out of gum. Lotus smiled herself and rubbed her hands together in anticipation. I love her hands. Just... Then, before Junpei had time to blink, she was typing at incredible speed, and the click-clack of the keys running together like machine gun fire.
Wait, what?
Junpei was, for once, at a loss for words. Uh-oh. Oh no, my headphones have, Okay, now I can hear again.
Didn't expect that, did you?
No.
Of course I didn't! You're typing so fast, I can't even see your fingers. What kind of job do you have? What are you?
I'm unemployed at the moment. I used to work for a cybersecurity firm, but I quit.
Okay.
Why?
Intense typing. Lotus blinked.
Oh, it was just something.
She stopped typing for a moment, and her face fell.
I see.
This was not an avenue of questioning to be pursued, Junpei realized, and quickly shut his mouth. Those fingers began to move again, and in a few seconds she was back up to speed. As she typed, more letters and symbols that meant nothing to Junpei began to pour across the screen.
Oh, what are you doing now?
I'm going to try and brute force it.
Brute force algorithm!
Brute what?
A brute force attack is... Well, the short version is that I just attack the thing head on. The long version?
Without looking up or slowing down, she began to
A
explain.
brute force attack is one of the simplest ways to break a cipher.
Mm-hmm.
It checks every possible combination until it finds the right one. For a complex cipher, it can take a very long time. I'm writing a program that would run an attack like that on its own.
How can you do that without actually getting into the computer, though? Like, we can't access anything into the computer, so how can you write a program? I don't know much about hacking. I know that every media makes hacking seem like so magical, but this just seems really, really wrong. Like, because you don't have any sort of, like... For one, we don't know if this monitor has actual, like, programming software.
It's not the most elegant solution, certainly. But given the circumstances, there isn't much else I can do.
Yeah. Even as she talked, her fingers never slowed down or missed a key. Junpei couldn't help but feel a little odd.
Oh, but back to what we were talking about earlier.
What were we talking about?
The wireless display? It's kind of strange if you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess.
How do I put it? Well, let's say you write a program that calculates an addition problem for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you enter 1 + 1.
Yes.
The screen will show you 2.
Yes.
See? Isn't that strange?
I guess.
No? Not really.
Oh, come on now. Of course a caveman like you would think it was strange. You said so just a minute ago.
Everything is strange.
You're just not getting it, are you?
No.
Who calculated 1 + 1?
The computer?
The main computer, right? You said it connected to the monitor wirelessly.
Yeah, but someone who grew up in a cave wouldn't know that, right? They'd probably think that this thing here, the monitor, is doing the calculating.
Yeah.
And once they've decided that, they'll start examining this monitor.
Mm-hmm.
They might poke the screen or something. Ah, I see the color changes when I press it here. Then they might investigate the hardware on the inside. Oh, I see. So this wire supplies the power.
Caveman. Like computer.
Actually, they might even cut the wires. Ah, yes. Just as I expected. When this wire is cut, no results appear. Therefore, it must be this device which does the calculations.
Oh.
But the truth is that, just like you said, the computer is doing the calculating.
Mm-hmm.
But these cave people wouldn't know that, because they have no idea that the monitor and the computer are connected wirelessly.
Lowe's continued to type. Junpei scratched his head.
So, what are you trying to say?
Nothing, really.
Yeah, this was all
It's
pointless.
just, I thought maybe. What
Maybe.
if the relationship between human beings and our brains is like that?
Our brain does the calculating?
Huh?
Our
Let's say you stick a bunch of electrodes into parts of the brain.
Yes.
A scientist examining the signals they send out might say, interesting. So stimulating this part of the brain causes the person to see colors.
Yes.
That must mean this neuron cluster controls that function.
I guess.
Okay, let's see what happens when I cut out this part. Ah, just what I thought. Cutting off this part causes that function to cease. Therefore, human thought processes must occur in the human brain.
Okay.
See? Doesn't it sound the same?
Maybe
the brain is just an output device, like this monitor.
Well, okay. So, our brains have Wi-Fi?
Maybe our thought processes actually occur somewhere else, in a main body.
The brain is stored in the heart.
We just don't know it. We never even think about it.
The collective of the human consciousness.
Just like those cave people
Mementos.
wouldn't know about wireless communications. We can't imagine that there's some unknown medium that transfers information into our brains, where we experience that information as thoughts.
Okay.
Um,
Junpei didn't say anything. Not so much because he had no retort. No, her argument just seemed silly. He was a little surprised to be hearing something like that from someone like her.
the brain is just an output device. Human thought actually occurs somewhere.
I love the typing just continuing in the background, just...
That's just crazy talk.
Yes, it is. Did Lotus really think that, he wondered? It was a little creepy, Junpei thought. It sounded altogether too much like a bizarre cultish religion.
Maybe that's the cause of Seven's amnesia.
Oh? Oblivious to Junpei's increasing discomfort, Lotus continued.
If memory is actually stored somewhere else, in some sort of main body somewhere, maybe he hasn't forgotten anything at all.
Okay.
He's just having a difficult time accessing his memories because the monitor, his brain, has been damaged.
His wire... He has poor signal strength.
Huh.
I suppose that would explain aphasia and blindsight, too.
Okay.
Perhaps they actually can't speak or see. The monitor just isn't functioning properly. I guess people with prosopagnosia could be suffering from the same thing.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. What?
You know what aphasia was from watching medical dramas on TV, and Blindsight was easy enough to guess. Never heard the word prosopagnosia before.
What? You've never heard of prosopagnosia?
No. It was spun around in her chair to look at him. But she still continued to type. He shrugged and shook his head.
What is it?
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces.
Okay.
In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other.
I generally recognize people by their hair, usually.
That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to. Usually they can make do by associating people with other things. Their voices, their clothes, their hair.
I still recognize faces, but if I'm looking for somebody in a crowd, I look for their hair.
Does that mean other people's faces look like blanks?
No, I don't think so.
Junpei didn't play that one Ace Attorney case.
You've seen monkeys, like in a zoo, right?
Yes.
To you and me, all the monkey faces look the same.
Probably.
Even though they've obviously got faces. It's almost impossible for a human to distinguish between them. The zoo staff that works with them would learn to identify different monkeys eventually. But you or I couldn't, unless one had a scar or something else to set it apart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how people would be to someone with prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. Huh. I didn't even know that kind of thing existed.
Junpei did his best to act as though the entire lecture hadn't gone entirely over his head.
And, what were we talking about?
The idea that your brain is just an output device, like a monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious about that stuff?
Not really. I was just kidding for about half of it.
I just felt like bullshit.
What
Bullshit.
about the other half?
Well, I guess I was just adulting.
Adulting. I know how to... I'm glad that Lotus also knows how to adult.
Not funny.
Lotus' smile had something rather masochistic to it.
It's nothing more than a story I made up out of boredom. Don't take it seriously. It was the first thing that came to mind, and I just talked about it to kill time. But, looks like I don't need to talk anymore.
Hey, you solved
Why?
it.
I don't have to kill time any longer.
As she spoke, Lotus raised her right arm high and brought it down on the enter key.
Oh, then you finished that brute whatever thing?
I certainly did. And let's see what we got.
Chunks of text flickered on and off in quick succession, then a line of numbers appeared, blinked, and disappeared. The screen cleared, and all that was left was the word accepted.
Piece of cake.
Everything is according to Cake. Translator note, cake means cake. Lotus would clearly pat herself on the back if it was not made her look entirely ridiculous. After a few seconds, the accepted disappeared to be replaced with... 4 squares arranged in a 3x3 square. 9 squares arranged in a 3x3 square.
No idea. Looks like a puzzle.
Ooh, this reminds me of a puzzle. Suddenly, Lotus stood up.
Huh? Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
No, I can't do anymore. It won't let me do any more programming.
Okay.
See? The keyboard. Nothing. So, there's nothing more I can do. Well, I guess I'll leave this to you then, Junpei.
Wow.
What?
Let me take a break, all right? I did my part.
I type so much, Junpei.
Well,
He wasn't sure what to say to that. She certainly had done her part. In fact, without Lotus, they probably would have run completely aground. I shouldn't rely on other people so much, Junpei thought to
I
himself.
guess you're right. Thanks, Lotus.
No problem. And make sure you know when you should thank people.
Hold on. What does Clover's note say? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Now, I better take care of this myself. No more relying on anyone else.
Junpei crossed his arms and stared at the puzzles shown on the screen. Okay. So yeah, I guess we need to get everything to green. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would solve this. Wow. Wow. That clue makes that puzzle really easy. Alright, I solved it. Hear a noise just now? It did sound like something unlocking. Where did it come from? Look, Junpei. The lights on the lockers are green. And we must have unlocked it with the computer puzzle. We found 2 keys. More than 1 key in here. This one is small, looks like it goes to some sort of machine. This one has the Earth symbol on it. I think the Earth symbol monsters a keyhole on the A deck. Well, if that's the case, we probably don't need the Earth key. We probably don't need the Earth key right now. Alright then, Earth key. I'll just tuck you away deep in my pocket. As for the other key... activation key... It was in this moment that he heard a voice behind him. It was Clover.
Hey, Junpei, do you have a minute?
Sure. Put the puzzle aside for a moment and walked over to Clover.
What's up?
I wanted to ask you something.
Sure.
Junpei, you went into door 5 with my brother, right?
Yes.
Did you hear him say, like, anything weird?
Huh?
Ooh, is this a conversation you'll only get if I had done the door 5 path and did this one? That's interesting. Thought about it, however, the more it made sense. Snake had been gone for a long time. Clover was quite attached to her brother. Of course she had been worried about him.
Well, let me think.
Thought back to when he'd gone through door 5, hoping he might remember something, even a small something, that would help her. However...
Sorry, Clover. I can't really think of anything. I mean, he did mention that his hearing exceeds that of a regular person, or something like that, but that's about it.
Okay.
Here's what happens if the pathway for the door 4 is done here. His words were barely audible. She nodded vaguely to Junpei and turned to walk away.
Hey, wait a minute. Look, I don't know if I should ask you things, but...
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk to you, Clover.
If you don't mind, I was hoping you could tell me if, is Snake, I mean, was he born...
Why?
About his eyes?
Why is that important, Junpei?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't born blind. When he was a kid, he got in an accident. A really bad car accident.
Oh no.
Couldn't see after that. And his arm.
His arm?
Yeah. My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm.
Oh?
It's fake. It's not a real arm.
Wait a second.
The accident hurt him really bad. To save him, they had to cut off his arm.
Oh.
That's actually information.
Is that all you wanted to ask me?
Talking about her brother had clearly taken a great deal out of Clover. Junpei nodded.
Look, I'm sorry for making you talk about all that painful stuff.
It's not that.
Clover only shook her head and walked off down to the stairs. Okay. Let's put in this key. Things go to the machine, turn it on. Okay, the monitor is on now, and it's full of letters. And his keyboard isn't doing squat. It's showing some kind of warning. Power restored to experimental device. Emergency system will activate in the event of abnormal subject behavior. Okay. The keyboard does nothing! Not very impressive. Okay, line exam table, can't really see from here. There's a monitor, there are a whole lot of cables under the table. Junpei! This thing in here is on now! Yeah, that's because we activated the power over on this side. Could you, like, play with it a little? Okay. Yeah. I'll turn this dial here. Turn, turn, turn. I don't think it's working. Nothing happened. Well, maybe she missed something. Should ask her to look around the room again. The rack. Mary can line the table. I guess the drain's full of water, huh? Well, there's nothing here. So washboard. You increase the voltage? Roger, will do. Okay, I'm gonna all the way to max voltage. Max voltage? Hey! Wait, Clover! Oh shit. Well, it did something. What? I think, Ruh-roh. Oh my god! The mannequin's head! Oh man, that sounded like a fire alarm. Yeah, what the hell? Fire detected, fire detected. The emergency system will be activated. Evacuate the room immediately. Oh, damn, the gate's still shut. Junpei, look! The light, it's green. The emergency system activated disabled the lock. Yeah, it's green. The emergency... Now we can save Clover. Junpei! Come on, kid. Jump. She's safe. Oh, man. That smoke is some serious business. Time to close this door again, I think. Clover, are you okay? Are you hurt? Damn, she's coughing so hard she can't even talk. Of course I'm not alright. What the hell took you so long, you big jerk? I was almost dead. Sorry, I was going as fast as I could. You can do this later. Right now, we need to get the hell out of here. What a stupid puzzle. What a stupid solution to the puzzle. You need to light something. You need to, like, create a giant fire in order to actually leave this room. That's the only way? Zero, come on. Come on, Zero. For an automatic puzzle, that seems really stupid. We're just gonna leave the fire going on. Do you want to know? Yeah, the fire on the ship. Do you want to know what makes this even funnier? It means that they did that in the other timeline. Lotus, June, and Santa did that too. They didn't even. Nobody even mentioned just like, oh, by the way, we started a fire in that room.
Whew, thank God we got out of there.
Yeah, finally.
Oh, yeah.
All three collapsed against the wall, breathing heavily. Junpei Star was pounding his chest and his whole body felt weak. Ah. Each one you could feel his body begin to calm down.
Let's go.
Okay.
We nodded to each other and started down the hallway. Before long, they found a new door, but all of them were locked.
Damn, none of these open. They're all locked.
Mm-hmm.
How about that one?
Found a door sat in the corner of the hallway.
Let's hope this is the door with the prize.
He grabbed the door handle and was about to pull it open when a voice cried out behind him. It was neither Clover nor Lotus, but he recognized it. There was no doubt the voice belonged to...
Jumpy!
The voice belonged to Jumpy? How could it belong to Jumpy?
Huh?
Spun around. There, at the other end of the hall, Junpei saw human figures running towards him. Let me check something real quick. Okay.
June? Santa! 7!
Yay! Friends! They stopped in front of Junpei and his companions. Can we skip? No, we cannot.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
What? But we didn't...
Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys, could you come take a look at this?
He found a map. He was standing near the end of the small hallway, branch off to the right. Prism ran over, curious to what she found.
Hey, on the wall.
A map of the ship's interior?
Mm-hmm.
It says C deck.
So it's the map for this floor then?
Looks like it.
Door 7. And... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
In fact...
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9.
Yeah,
That's
that
how
makes
the Notary
sense.
game works.
You may looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. This leads to...
The hospital room.
Oh,
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope. One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
yeah.
Fire on the ship, no big deal. Yeah, it's not important. It's fine. As one, they all moved back toward the door. Junpei had only
almost
been
forgot.
ready to
We should
open.
keep this.
Let's keep the map. Pull the map of the ship interior off the wall, put it in his pocket, and follow the others. Six of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took a hold of the door and spoke without looking back to the other
Ready?
5.
I'm gonna open it.
Nod in their silent assessment. Nod their silent assent? Oh. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. Pour through the door and onto the room. Even without looking around, each of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map said they would be. Back in the hospital.
In the hospital room.
Yay!
I see.
Yep, and we can skip here.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Here.
Mm-hmm. Toss something small and metallic towards Junpei.
Nice catch.
Jeez.
He caught it and found that the object was a key.
I see. So this is Jupiter.
Mm-hmm. And on it, someone had engraved a symbol very similar to a 4. He looked at June, who nodded back. It had been the Jupiter symbol.
I'm gonna let you hold on to that, alright?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, on it.
Well, I've got something for you too then.
We get the Saturn keycard, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's the Saturn keycard. We found it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
Thanks.
Yeah, on it.
And with that, she pressed in Junpei's hand. He felt slightly less than honored.
So how many unused keys do we have now?
3.
There's the Earth key we found in the laboratory. The
Jupiter key
you just gave me.
And the Saturn key
the
and Saturn
key
keycard.
from Lotus. I'll keep them safe.
He tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end.
Yep. And skip through most of this. They're gonna go through door 3. Seven, 6, 8. Blah blah blah. We head back here. Santa's gonna be like, "Oh, why are we even here? It's not helpful." I'm not even gonna play with doing the no idea option. Santa's an idiot. Okay. June's gonna complain about getting all wet. She was afraid because the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. He thought about it. Junpei realized he hadn't seen the elevators on A or B deck near the central staircase. all that, which meant... Yeah, it just skips everything. Oh, that's pretty funny. That's kind of funny. Okay, June jumps in.
We'd probably die.
That's that's kind of funny, just where that came from.
Oh no. Don't be so casual about something like that.
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can.
That's because Junpei was talking about it, so like, oh, we get wet up there instead. Hello. Zero planned all this, etc., etc. Yeah, looked like blah, 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 blah. It was Snake. Snake is dead. Yeah, you can just go through there. I left a screwdriver. Everything smells terrible. The explosion was quite powerful.
The bone is coming out of his left arm.
Hey, what did we just learn about Snake? Snake doesn't have a left arm, or a real one.
Definitely an open fracture.
Okay.
Oh, the fake.
Yeah.
I'm glad I actually timed that perfectly.
What?
You're all familiar with Junpei? Are we going to comment about the arm? Apparently, we are too stupid to comment about his arm. Apparently, we are too stupid to realize that. Honestly...
That happened.
We could probably skip to the choice. So yeah, let's skip to here. As we literally just saw this today.
3, 4. All right.
Which door do I want to go through? Let's go through door 6. Because, that would take me with June.
I want to go through door 6.
I flipped open the piece of paper. It read Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it, after all.
That's a problem.
June spoke barely above a whisper. They all knew what she'd said.
These teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
No, we will not.
Clover and I chose door 1.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
And our numbers don't work out for door 6.
The digital routes don't match up either.
No, the next game in the series, at least stop fast forward if there's anything new said. Yeah, no, it stops the fast forward. It stops the fast forward, it definitely does. I stopped it intentionally I stopped it trying to get the left arm thing. But Junpei is apparently and yeah, I know that it would stop against anything new, but there wasn't going to be that much new for that. I didn't feel like exploring.
We've got similar problems. Junpei and I want to go through door 6. But our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
So we would need Ace.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we going to do?
Ace, do you want to join us? Charm did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. What is 7? Their digital route would be 1. I think. Yeah, because, that would be 15, that would be 19. Yeah, they can go through door 1. So it would just be 7 and Lotus who didn't get their door. Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
Why don't 7 and Lotus go through door 1?
With me. Face was cold and flat in her voice, but her logic was sound. 7 and Lotus looked at each other. 7 plus 8 plus 4 is 19. That equals 1. First problem resolved. Ace spoke up.
What about me?
Isn't that obvious?
You go with us.
Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Yes.
Yes.
Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed to really contradict her. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so...
I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind.
Yep, that makes sense.
This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
I'm gonna keep going until either an ending happens or it locks us. Because I don't know... Because I know that I need to take specific paths for certain endings, and I don't know for sure if if whatever I'm going towards now will do that.
7, Lotus, what do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
Alright then, we're good to go.
So we're gonna
See you
keep.
later.
So we're gonna keep going to that, and whenever that happens, whenever that problem comes up, we'll probably end the stream. Or solution if it
Clover,
causes an ending.
Don't move on your own.
Oh, I'll be going too then.
Bye.
Be careful.
We should get going as well.
Let us go. Alas, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed towards A deck, where door 1 was near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. Ride to E deck was the silent one.
This is E deck.
Don't remember the important path leads. Yeah. Yeah, I think it does actually. I think it would actually say that.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Then as word jolted them the action, they stepped out of the elevator in a long, straight hallway. Before long, they arrived in front of a door 6.
Here it is. You guys...
Yeah.
Then let's get to it.
Yay! One by one, they put their palms over the red. Soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. Door opened, and all at once the 4 of them leapt through it.
Hey! I found it! It's right there!
Oh, that was easy. Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd entered through. They gathered around it quickly, hurried place their palms on the authentication one by one.
It stopped.
Yay!
Yes! It stopped!
Countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat.
Whew. I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
Let's hope you don't.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You got that right. Once I'm out of this hellhole, I'm taking a nice long vacation.
Gonna go to Aruba.
I agree.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take ya. Doom and gloom from before was done, and the mood turned somehow lighter.
Go.
With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. jogged down the staircase at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door.
This door looks heavy.
But it's not locked. I'm opening it.
Yay! Not locked doors. All hail the heavy door gods. Praise be to the door gods. Good, I still have access to door gods. It was gargantuan, made entirely of metal. None of the accents of wood or tile you'd seen in the rest of the ship. It was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
Like a boiler room or something? Engine room? Or awe stole the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than
This
gasps.
has to be the biggest room so far.
Yeah?
The ceiling is pretty high, too.
Huh. Could be 2 stories, maybe even more.
Yeah?
This space could be utilizing the entire length of the ship.
What's that huge Kamaboko-looking building in the middle?
Oh, what? June pointed towards the massive building in the center.
Well, I guess that's as good of a description of it as any.
Sure. Junpei and the others were standing on scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, and Junpei thought, although it didn't seem particularly important.
So we may as well head over to them.
Yeah, but this section's barely wide enough to fit 1 person.
You're right.
Then we go one at a time? Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them.
Whoa, you can't even tell the shape when you're this close.
Let's check out the other side, too.
They moved around towards the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached the building, Ace suddenly spoke up.
This looks to be the steam engine room.
Alright.
The steam engine room?
Yes, that thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. Do you see the 3 round doors near the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger.
I see.
A very large steam
Doesn't
engine.
appear to be running right now.
Thank you.
All right, let's split up.
I'm glad that we've found that this presumably destroyed ship is not in fact running. All of a sudden, Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse onto her knees.
Hey, what's wrong? Are you all right?
No. Ash toward her and wrapped her arms around her shoulder to steady her.
Hey, June.
Also, his hands look massive. Junpei's hands look absolutely massive. It looks like he could wrap his entire hand around June's, like, torso. It was then that he noticed.
Jumpy.
You... Oh, you're really warm. Is your fever coming back?
Yes. Yes. It probably is. But I'm fine. Please, don't worry about me.
I'm worried about
I
you.
just need to rest. And I'll be fine.
I don't know if that's good. Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did.
Okay, here, sit down. Careful.
Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her against it. They're so weirdly drawn sometimes. I mean, that's hands in general. She let her head fall back against the wall as if she no longer had the strength to support and drew a ragged breath.
Thank you.
Her eyes were empty as she was having trouble focusing them, and speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist and clench tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, and quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn.
Ace, Santa.
Yes.
Right.
They might not have shared the depths of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern.
All right, let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon.
She managed a small nod before leaning to rest her back leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Have a nice nap. Seek a way out. Alright. A tunnel. It goes all the way across the ship. A panel that we probably can't open because that's an orange light. Oh, what do you know? It's a square hole. Nothing in here. Ah, look at the back of the wall there. I can see 3 small slots, terminals for some sort of connector, perhaps. You mean we're supposed to plug in something in there? Perhaps. Alright. Got a wheel. Gear is rusty, looks pretty sturdy. A golden gear. Doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well then, I imagine it was prepared especially for this game. Looks like the door's over there in that tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown into this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. Huge golden gear. I have a feeling it's important. Huge bronze gear. This has to be important. Pretty sturdy. Huge oven for the boiler. 3 open areas in it. Each of them has a gear in it. And this is a silver one. It's a silver gear. Think it's made of pure silver? No way. Silver's way too soft to use for a gear. It's gotta be steel or iron gear that's been coated with silver. Ugh. Shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. Shouldn't have gotten your hopes up. You thinking you'd haul this thing back? Nah, but I think 7 could probably carry it, don't you? There's a bunch of wooden boxes by the wall there. I already looked through those, there's nothing in there. I've got this. Look, Ace! Some kind of snowman. It's a secret meeting! Those are just bags full of sand. Use them as a counterweight when you're lifting something with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious. I could go for a secret snowman meeting. A pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Ah. Okay, that's still the silver gear. What are you? Thank you. What's this? Given displacement, this must unlock the door to the left. There's a weird indentation on top of this thing. Think that means you have to insert something here? Yes, I would imagine so. The thing unlocks the door. Depression, we don't really have anything for it, though. Oh man, Junpei, I can't believe I missed something so important! What's so important? Look at those stairs! Look at them carefully. The gap. The height. That angle. It's perfect. Perfect? Perfect for what? Whatever, just bring Clover here, right now! Tell her she needs to walk up and down these stairs. Huh? Clover's not here. What the hell is he talking about? I don't really get it. Apparently these stairs are perfect for something. Alright, Santa. Now up to the upper floor. There's a staircase that reaches down the boiler. Over these things, puts coal in these things, but they're welded shut. I don't think we can get these open. This thing is huge. Because a ship this big needs things like that power. True, but I doubt a single boiler of this side could actually move a ship like this at any reasonable speed. At least you'd need at least 3, no, 4 of these. Guess you know a lot about boats, huh? Well, not really. It's just common sense, you know. It's the bronze gear, and that's the silver gear. We have literally gotten nothing. I'd say this probably move the coal from place to place. Probably comes up from over there, the belt carries it, so if the conveyor belt was moving, yes, the coal would almost certainly come out of here. Okay, where am I supposed to go then? We haven't gotten anything, and I felt like I clicked everything. Can't do anything to those. Okay, yeah, okay, we can go here. Well, let's move this. 3 sliders left are down, but this one's up. There are a number of lines engraved on these. I suspect we are meant to do something rather specific with them. Why don't you move that slider down? There's no harm in trying, I guess. Nothing, Nothing happened. Maybe he needs to be prepared somehow. Saying if we did something, somehow there'd be a response somehow? Yes, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Okay, we can still go further up. One of the doors to the furnace, there's an A on it. There's a circular wheel on top of the ceiling. Alright, let's give this sucker a twist. Well, it's noisy, but it opens. And it's totally pitch black in there. We should, go in here. Alright. Let's go. This looks like the door we just went in. Where are we? Must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There is a great deal we've yet to investigate. There's a C over there. Which probably can't get through. What are you? There's a handle-operated winch, but it doesn't look like there's any way to, operate it. That means the wheel isn't attached. And there. Okay. Let's head back through C. Anything over here? Well, it looks like that's a pipe. The bottom connects to the conveyor belt housing. And coal must come out of this pipe and onto the conveyor belt. In other words, this must be a great deal of coal of this pipe. There are a number of boxes on the catwalk. I don't think we can go through there. Alright, let's check B. There's... You have excellent memory. Use that to draw a map inside your head. That way you won't get lost. Hey, this has a wheel. Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. Huh, that's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Gah! Ah, shit. It's a wheel. It seems to be part of a winch. There's some pegs on the back that look like got holes in it. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. Alright, let's head back to B. I think we would need to put something on the winch here, but eh. And operating winch, there's no wheel to turn. Oh yeah! I've got the wheel. I pulled off the other winch, didn't I? Let's see if it fits. Sweet, it's perfect fit. It's like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good, I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. You should be able to haul up the wooden box now. Let's see, you see the wooden box? It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging on the rope on the winch, isn't it? Looks like there is some sort of device in the box. Not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn the wheel now. I'm counting on you. Alright, I'll turn the wheel. Huh? What's this? What happened? This wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left? That means we can't reel up the rope. Yeah. And only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that will be a problem. You simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I'll be counting on you, Junpei. Your thing, no sweat.
I believe the box has reached the floor.
Yay!
Yeah.
Stuck his head over to the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung just below the catwalk now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that had covered the conveyor belt.
June's down over by there.
Junpei could see her still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought he could see the heat rising from her body.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
No. Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they'd all been thinking.
Of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
Mm-hmm. Not just really to convince himself that's what he said was true.
What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps?
Maybe.
Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion.
Santa's response was confident and
She
certain.
gets dropped into some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know?
He's not wrong.
So you're saying we're abnormal?
Yes.
Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
Santa snorted in
A
disgust.
guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat?
No, those are two different things, Junpei. One is a guinea pig, the other is a rat.
You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying?
Experiment 626.
Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility, you know?
Sure. Another few more moments, no one willing to speak until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him.
You know?
They hate him because
speaking
he
of
spoke the
experiments,
truth. Then suddenly stopped.
There was this experiment some scientists did with rats.
Speaking of segues,
First, they took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown in it.
that seems really cruel.
The tank has 2 exits. Just to make it easy, we'll call one A and the other B.
As opposed to... whatever.
Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it.
Which also means that the water would be electrified.
So,
Unless they were
what
using
would a rat
completely
do
pure
if it
water.
was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose?
There was a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded.
B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified.
Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out that way.
Yep.
So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A.
I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment.
Okay. What's next?
Right. It isn't very interesting.
Yet.
See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit.
Okay.
Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B.
Okay.
But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results.
Oh.
No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same.
Oh, okay.
The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial one.
Oh.
These rats
Morphogenetic
never related to the others
field,
and had
son.
never even come in contact with them. And yet, they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew. What did it mean?
Are you suggesting something like telepathy?
Sure.
They were passing information to one another through some undetectable medium?
I feel like there's some flaws with this experiment. Yeah, probably. Ace looked skeptical. Santa snorted at him.
How the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know that story's true. And if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on.
Falsified
Keep going.
data?
There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out.
Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to leave the topic alone.
Hey, wait. There's something I want to ask you.
What?
Santa stopped and turned around.
Why did they use that tank for the experiment?
Huh?
Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water.
Yeah?
They could have just used a dry box, you know?
Yeah, that is also true.
If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown?
Santa gave a grim bark of a laugh.
You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that?
No.
Huh? Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else.
So telepathy comes from
So
danger.
what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need.
So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge.
That's why the rats had to die.
Oh.
We're gonna murder all of the rats. Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching, and his stomach felt strange. And on that happy note, head back through C, and back through A. Up, come on. And oh, no, not this way. Or is it this way? I don't remember anymore. Check here. Pair of boxes here. Wait a second. Where's the winch then? Where is the box supposed to be? Oh, wait, there. Oh, okay. That was not obvious at all. Controller panel for something. Some kind of machine. Maybe a controller panel? Oh, this has the 3 things in it, so it would go here. And this is whole where the control panel goes, but there's only one way to find out. Dude, you did it! Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do that. Pushing! Sweet, all sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And oh, yes, I think I just heard something turn on. Oh? What's that? What happened? Junpei, look, the conveyor belt's moving. Conveyor belt. Do we get coal? I guess it's done moving now. Still a bunch of coal on the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped on the end of the belt into a wooden box we found in the control panel. Coal. Coal, huh? Belts are moving, transmitting quite a bit of coal. Left in a wooden box. Box filled with coal. Hey, Santa, you wanna give this as a present to anybody? Small door, it's welded shut. Small door, it's welded shut. No door. Huge silver gear, got a feeling it's important. Thank you. Okay. There are a pair of boxes here. Pair of boxes here. Pair of boxes here. Nothing but sand. Alrighty, let's continue up, see if there's anything. Go this way. No, one too far. Nope, no. I meant to click this. Does this do anything now? Nothing happens yet. I don't know where I'm going. If that wasn't obvious. don't think we need to turn the wheel anymore. Okay, nah, to make sure. What even is the map gonna say? Let's check B, see if there's anything we can do with the coal. Or if this was only ever to get the winch. Not a ladder. Can't operate winch, no wheel on it anymore. Okay. We have coal. What can we do with it? Needed part of the ship's structure, ribs support by the hull. Hey, Junpei, where are you going? Okay, that's the closed door. On the doors to the furnace, there's a C on it. And then, oh? Yeah, okay, what can I actually do? There's a pair of boxes. Nothing but sand. This one happens to open? Nope. This one happened to open? Big gear. It's coal, shiny black and coal-like. Taylor goes towards the ceiling. Junpei, do you think you should pay too much attention to the conveyor belt? Well, I don't know what else to be paying attention to. One box full of coal. Guess there's really only thing when you... Yeah, okay. Where do I burn it? Oh, these things. There's a hole, looks like pull core. Maybe put coal, set it on fire. Let's do it. Alright, no coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. I should expect. Why would coal and cold furnace do anything? Well, man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which would heat the water stored up in there and make the steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with steam to power the turbine. And drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. Yeah, the furnace is enormous. We're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well, if 3 of us work together, we should manage to fill it much faster. I want to help too. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling okay? Yes. Yeah, right. You look like you're one stiff breeze from falling over, June. I think you better rest some more, alright? But No arguing. You need your rest, so you stay there. We'll handle this. Okay. I understand. Alright, time for some manly work. Let's get this coal into the furnaces. Oh yeah! Just... Man, this is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, then we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh, okay. That's what that thing's gonna do. That's why I was doing nothing. It's because, there was no coal. Yep. It might be... Probably is. I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. Means we move that thing down. Alright, let's do it. Here we go. Hey, Junpei, Ace, look at this! There's a big gear turning a boiler down there. of gears. They're spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. Alright, this has something in it. Gold disc. Bronze disc. And the iron disc. Okay, so we need to head here, head up here, and to this. Maybe we put these 3 discs we found into this thing. There's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happened. Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places. Perhaps you had them facing the wrong directions. Perhaps you should rotate the discs to make sure some of the lines connect to one another. No harm in trying. Instruction for operation. When the disc is pressed, we will rotate a certain amount of times. When the white arrow is pressed, the discs are switched. Please note the discs are switched, the angles for the discs are reset. Okay. Well. Let's make the red sun. There we go. That made sense. That made perfect sense. Relies on these discs. I think maybe they just make a star polygon with these. One of them was silver, one of them was gold. That was really obvious. You found it!
Yes! The door's open!
Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Ace seemed to share his excitement.
All right, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on the store.
Yay! Santa snorted.
Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We could just open it again.
Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all 3 of us go and collect June then?
Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it.
Then why did you say anything, Santa? Still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down on the stairs.
So are you only interested in being contrary?
Yes. He sighed with the air of a long-suffering parent.
All right, I'll go get June. I'll be right back.
Yay! Quit nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. Before long, he was back on the first floor, next to the conveyor belt and June.
Oh, Jumpy!
As he drew closer, she stood up slowly.
Are you okay?
He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice.
Yes, I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry.
Aw. June blushed. He wasn't sure if she was embarrassed or still feverish.
Let me check.
Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand on against her forehead.
Good. You're feeling a lot better.
She was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but she still wasn't down to what seemed normal to him.
Are you sure you're all right?
He had to be sure. June gave him a look.
Oh, you're such a warrior, Jumpy.
Yep.
Oops, I mean, warrior.
No, you are right on both accounts. June giggled. Wasn't sure if she had just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she really was feeling so much better. Gave her a friendly poke on the forehead.
Right, let's go.
Go where?
Oh, right. I didn't tell you.
We opened the
got
door.
The exit open, so...
Great! Let's go!
Let's go! Clasped her hands and nodded urgently. They headed back to the exit, but on their way they had found...
Oh, it's...
Santa?
Santa was sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand, and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him.
What are you looking at?
Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet.
It's a photo. It's my sister.
Sister? Santa, you've got a sister?
Ooh. Santa simply nodded.
Yeah. Kid was cute as a button.
Oh no. June cocked her head confused.
She was only about an inch tall then?
Yes, June. That's exactly. Santa glared at her.
Oh, sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch.
Oh my god. June, stop. Santa didn't smile or laugh.
Sorry.
Why are you looking at it?
Simply turned back to his picture and spoke.
I was her Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
Santa. Sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. No idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either.
We didn't have parents. They bought it in an accident when we were still kids. So I had to be like her dad. And that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year.
Hmm.
On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted.
Aww.
I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in our mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year.
Aw, good boy Santa, good brother.
Huh.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound, or didn't care. Santa kept talking.
But one year, her letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that.
Aww.
Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true.
Okay.
My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time.
Aww.
That was it. Nothing else. But I couldn't make that wish come true.
Aww.
Some Santa I am.
Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. But
What happened?
June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with effort.
She died. She was killed 9 years ago.
Oh.
Aww. There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a gray lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale.
All right, let's go.
Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them two at a time.
Huh?
Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
Hey, what are you two doing?
Or
Let's get moving, come on!
Santa's voice echoed across the room from
Let's
above
go.
them.
Yeah.
They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired.
Oh, you're finally back.
The door had shut, but it wasn't cause for concern.
Sorry we took so long.
Junpei quickly solved the disc puzzle a second time, and the door opened once again.
Let's go.
Yay! Single file, they walked through. After walking for nearly 15 feet, they found themselves in front of a metal door. It opened easily enough, and they passed through it as well. A new room stretched out before them.
Huh. Is this a warehouse?
Looks like it.
No, I believe this is the cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight.
There are wooden crates everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how old they are.
Junpei, Ace, and June stopped moving unconsciously, pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through their momentary trance.
Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get going.
Seek a way out. We're still a while away. I'll be honest, I'm actually really hungry, so I think I'm gonna end this now. I know I said we would go into the next save point, but no, I need food. So, yeah. I'm gonna save here. Yeah. It started to hit me a little bit through that puzzle. I'm just like, oh, I need food. And I wasn't sure how long we had left. I'm enjoying this still. We'll be back to this on either Saturday or Tuesday. Tomorrow we'll probably be finishing Odyssey. Might do a few other bonus moons, or we might start Hat in Time. So, keep a lookout for that. Let's find our raid target. Who is alive at the current time? Who could it be? Who could it be? We're gonna be raiding Juker, who is currently has something. E edition. I think Jukebox Community, I'm pretty sure that is basically a random game shuffle. So, I don't know what game they're doing right now because Juker uses the retro tag. So, copy in the raid message, put in any radio notes that you enjoy, and we'll be starting up this raid in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.